You are listening to the BlahCade podcast. I am your host, Chris Freebus, aka Shut Your Trap. Joining me as always from Australia, Jared Morgan.
G'day. How's it going, Chris?
I'm in a mood.
You're in a mood? You have a mood?
I have a mood. It's just one of those things. We'll get into it in a little bit, but yeah, technology is working against me at the moment.
That's frustrating.
Just even from the start of us getting this podcast going today, which, by the way, no, you did not miss a podcast last week. We just were not here.
Yeah, I was up at Australia Zoo looking at crocodiles, which is fun.
And they're rather large crocodiles at the Australia Zoo too.
They're huge. Yeah, really, really big.
Is Bindi and her mom running that place still, or?
Yep, they are. They weren't there when we went there, but they certainly are. Yeah, but it's huge now.
So yeah, in case people are kind of going, huh, what, Australia? Well, I'm not sure. Australia Zoo. That's the zoo that Steve Irwin had set up with all of his crocodiles. And when I went there, okay, what was that? Almost 15 years ago. It was a huge place and pretty awesome. But it sounds like they've done massive amounts of work since then too.
Huge amounts. They've got where you would have seen the crocodile show being done. They've actually got a stadium built now for that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's not just like a little set of pools with some really small seating there. It's like a full-on stadium with speakers and audio-visual and everything.
Wow.
It's amazing. And they've got like a whole Africa exhibit now, so you can see giraffes and rhinos and zebras and all that sort of stuff.
We had we went by, they had this snake. I don't know if it was probably a boa constrictor, big yellow boa, giant lump in it. And we kind of asked, we're like, oh, what do you feed this thing? They're like, pigs.
Pigs.
Like, okay.
Pigs.
Well.
I didn't see the huge boa constrictor, the pig-eating boa constrictor when I was there, but...
yeah, it was massive. And then, of course, they had the turtles, or the tortoises, I should say.
Yeah, the huge tortoises. They were cool. Very cool, actually.
And when you find out how old those things are, and you find out that, yeah, Charles Darwin brought those over.
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're massive, massive creatures. And the thing I found most fascinating about that session, I really didn't sort of think it would be that fascinating, but I didn't realize that the shells, they're made of keratin, which is the same stuff that our fingernails are made out of. And they're actually, I didn't think they could feel through their shells, but they can. So they have full sensory perception through their shells. So if you rub their shells, they can feel it. And these two big tortoises, they loved a good scratch and a good shell rub. So they'd be sitting there munching away on their food, and then the handlers would go up and actually give their legs a rub or their shell a rub, and they sort of like push up off the ground like a cat does.
Right.
And you're scratching their tummy. They go, oh yeah, just give a bit more on the left. They were great. They're really cool little, not little, they're huge tortoises, but they were really cool to watch.
I really would say if you find yourself in Jared's neck of the woods in Brisbane, it's probably about an hour drive in though from Brisbane proper, right?
If you're coming from Brisbane CBD, yeah, it's about an hour. If you're coming from where I live in North Lakes, you probably get there in about 35 minutes.
Okay. So if you were like me, yeah, if you were like me and being a tourist and you got plunked right down the middle of Brisbane in the city portion, what you will, yeah, it takes took about an hour, but it's totally worth it. It's really, really awesome, and I couldn't even come close to getting tired of watching the handlers get in the pens with the crocodiles and dangling meat in front of them and hearing those jaws snap shut. I mean, you wouldn't find me hopping over the fence. No, thank you.
The croc that they had out on the day was in a bit of a cranky mood too, so it was a little bit feisty.
I was fortunate. We were fortunate enough to be there when Steve was still alive, and he was actually at the park that day feeding. So we actually got to see him do his thing. So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, the technology shift, or the technology is pissing me off. Many of you have known that Blab went away, which was a very easy one-click and we were active kind of venture. We had been using Google Hangouts prior to that. Google Hangouts is kind of a maze to walk through to get into. Like, it keeps on popping up other windows, and you're like, well, wait, which window is, what am I broadcasting? What am I looking at? What am I doing? But it wasn't terrible. It just was kind of difficult. But then after Blab went down and we went to go back to Google Hangouts, well, Google Hangouts was not doing what it was doing anymore, and now we're doing this YouTube Live, which actually is using Google Hangouts. I don't know, it's all confusing to me, but I was not able for the life of me to get this thing to pop up and give me video.
To actually work. Yeah, we had to completely recreate the session. And the funny thing is that the one that we created, we couldn't actually delete it. I tried deleting it, but it was saying, nope, error, try again, or something like that. So it's like it was a corrupted session or something like that.
And I don't know if any of this has to do with the fact that, Jared, I finally got my computer, the data that was frozen on my RAID array of hard drives, we were finally able to get that transferred over to another hard drive.
Oh, wow, you actually managed to get it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't holding out much hope.
it was making my buddy really pull his hair out. What we decided to do was go ahead and get I got a 2 terabyte internal hard drive. We got that. He found a program that was able to kind of do a cloning of the hard drives. And so we thought that was going to be really simple, but then it was a problem of it still not wanting to recognize the drives. And he had to, God, he pulled up this laundry list of instructions on the web for how to make this work. And I was like, yeah, so I'm going to leave now because it was massive. And he was able
cool story, bro. It's
exactly.
Like, cool story, bro. I'll just let you do that yourself. That's fine.
So he was able to get it to recognize the drives, get it to copy them over. And the problem with that was, since they were striped, it was like, well, how do you get it to recognize and pull over all the information? But somehow he managed to do that. So I'm on the new hard drive. I'm testing it all out. And I literally got it last night. So
right.
Yeah, so today I've been, just kind of opening up programs and seeing if they function and making sure everything's, cool. And then it's like, oh, podcast. And in my head, I'm like, oh, well, that's no problem. It's just my camera, it's my microphone. I don't need to update anything with that, right? Yeah. So plug those in, no problem. I open up YouTube Live, and that's when it was like telling me I need new encoder and not recognizing what's going on. I'm like, oh, man, what, did it lose the information or what? I don't know. So Jared came to the rescue, logged in under our BlahCade account, and hooked us up.
Made it worky. Made
it work. Handed it back to me. There we go. But so the whole reason why I was really, really jonesing for having this transfer go over, because we actually got all of our save files transferred over to I had all those transferred over to a removable hard drive. Okay. But the one thing I didn't get was the TPA save files. The user data.
Ones. Yeah.
And so I was really hoping that, okay, hey, once we get this all transferred and copied over, boom, I'll have them back. And so everything got transferred over. I open up TPA this morning. I look, and nope, not a single goal is saved. I'm like, what the heck? So I did a quick search, and so I haven't really been playing much pinball because I didn't want to be playing Pinball Arcade, not having my wizard goals saved or any of my data saved, because I knew that I'd just be starting over again, and I was like, well, no, I got all this other save data, so I haven't been playing with that. I've been working the past month, so I haven't had a chance to really play pinball in general on that front. So it's, and what I haven't has been playing Zen, but even then I'm not having much time. Instead, it's one of those things where I'm getting home from work and I'm just like, okay, I've got 2 hours of being awake. What would I rather do? Play some pinball, watch some TV. I'm going with the TV right now.
Yeah.
And but so I was really all excited though. I was like, oh, finally I'll have Pinball Arcade back up and running with all my save. I'll be happy. That'll ease my mind or whatever. Well, it turns out that anytime you basically, if you're transferring to a new computer or anytime you load TPA, do a new install, it wipes all your previous data.
Oh, right. So even the stuff that was in the directory that you had synced over, and it was there, ready, happily sitting there, it just toast. It goes, oh, it's a new install, therefore I'm wiping all the data. Wow.
Yep. Genius.
So
Thanks, Farsight.
Wow. Great. And
because that didn't happen with Zen. That doesn't happen with any other games. They all go, hey, we're all cool. Because I guess it's some weird thing where stuff is saving to the Steam cloud, but then when it becomes on a new hard drive, it goes, nope, this is new, or a new install, it goes, nope, this is new. And what I was reading was some people were installing on another computer. So they have their regular computer, then they were installing the game on another computer, they ran the game, when they got back home to their other computer, all data gone.
Oh, so it's synchronizing it. So it's synchronizing the install
Synchronizing
state.
wipes.
Oh, so it kills your cloud backup as well.
Yeah.
That's a terrible bug.
Yeah.
Farsight, that's a terrible bug.
Ding dong, fix this crap.
That is terrible. Wow.
So now I'm trying to... I still haven't deleted my old hard drive. And so I got to get into that. I got to try and backup save, which now I'm in territory. I have no clue what I'm doing. And because the instructions that I was reading was like, well, first you got to open up the new install, then you got to go to the old install, and then you got to start up, and then you got to put this in it. I'm like, what the hell you mean old install, new install? You know, it's like, I've only got the one install on my computer right now, which I guess would technically be the new install. I don't know. The new install,
yeah.
You know, but it's like,
so this is documented. So this
you would
is
think
like
it's just something, yeah, it's documented. That's where I was finding it on Steam chat room. I mean, I just did a basic Google search of what I typed in. I put Pinball Arcade save file, and this information popped up. And so, yeah, I gotta. You would think that it's just a simple matter of, well, here's my old data. Let me just copy and paste and dump it in. But apparently, you have to do some other preventative measure so that it doesn't go. No, I don't want that information though. And then I came across a weird thing where it was basically going into your user data, and then selecting your username. Well, I had my Shut Your Trap user, which is what I log in, and all my gameplay is done. And then I also had one that said Chris Freebus, and I thought, well, that's interesting. So I double-click on the Shut Your Trap, look at that, user information, and it's got info from 2015 on it.
Okay.
I click on the Chris Freebus, and that one's got the brand new install. I'm like, well, why is it going to that? So I'm almost wondering if this is Steam. At some point, Steam had me change... Like, it knows what my username is, but also knows what my real name is, and then somehow it's mucking about with that. And so it made a new thing there, And I tried, just my simplicity, I tried copying and pasting the Shut Your Trap stuff into that folder, and it didn't do a thing. So yeah, to say the least, nothing kills the enjoyment of pinball like having stupid stuff like this block you.
Yeah, that's right. It is frustrating. Although there could be a silver lining to this. I found that when I had the same problem on Android, because of this wacky way they do backups on Android as well, it is kind of cool to see all those goals popping up again. Maybe not the really tough ones like Lyman's or all those ones.
But that's the thing. I've already been through this.
Yeah.
Because this is what had when I had, I'd already met all the goals on PlayStation 3 for seasons 1 and 2. And then that's when I transferred over to the PC and on Steam. And I was like, well, I got to go get all those goals again. And it's a daunting task. And you're not kidding. There's those goals that you never, ever want to see again.
Yeah.
And now you
like
have
the 250,000 on 250. It's 250,000 on Genie or something, isn't it? Or no,
3 million on Genie. It's 250,000 on Big Shot. There's that stupid hidden goal on
Secret
Scared
Passage.
Stiff.
Yeah,
Secret Passage on Scared Stiff. That might be doable on a real machine, but on the way Farsight has their railroading of where the ball goes, you only get it by sheer accident. There is no shooting for it.
Usually multi-ball when balls collide and have a
which is how I got it. But then here's the thing. I got it because it said it on the game, but at the same time there was other audio going on too, and so Farsight's system didn't recognize it.
Yeah, because it's looking for the audio call and not the DMD probably, because it does
no,
have a DMD.
No, the audio call was, but there was also other audio calls going on at the same time because it was multi-ball.
Yeah.
So I don't think it didn't recognize it. So I'm like, I got it. I heard it say, specifically, and nope. And so I still had to play for it some more. I know, guys. I think Pinball Wiz 45B still has not gotten that goal.
Oh, really? Jeez, that's a telling tale.
Right?
Yeah.
Fortunately, I never got that stupid TX sector goal of getting the 2 balls in the shooter lane because
that's retarded.
I would be very, very angry if I had to try and get that one back.
Yeah.
But on top of that, though, you lose all your high scores, or all your local,
all your locals.
And that's really annoying too. So there's it certainly takes the luster off of a game.
It really does, and that's a terrible. Like we talk about what the user experiences all the time. I tend to, because it's the job I'm in. But like as an end user experience, that's like the worst. Losing data losing your achievements or your game save data is like the worst thing you could probably do to a user. Because it's, they've spent a lot of time getting this information up.
A lot of time. I've put in 540 hours on this game.
540 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did the entire time we were doing Table of the Week. It was entirely those weeks I would focus on getting the wizard goals.
That's right.
And that took a year and a half.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I think I'm gonna try and, like I said, I'll try and find that data, and then once I know where it is, I think it'll be time to contact Farsight and be like, first, you're walking me through this, and second, why don't you fix this?
Yeah, because this sucks.
This is annoying.
Have you brought it up in before? Like, I would have thought you would have done a post on it, or someone probably would have beaten you to it, because it sounds like it's happened before. So, yeah, has anyone, have you contacted Farsight about it and told them how terrible it is?
No, because I literally discovered this 3 hours ago.
We found it, I guess. So somebody else has already documented the process for doing it. So that means they would have found it as well, and they would have worked around the solution.
Somebody figured it out on Steam. It was posted in the Steam forum, not on Pinball Arcade Fans.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I haven't done a deep dive. I mean, literally, this was page 1 of Google search.
Right.
So I haven't gone deeper and or tried different phrasing to see what anybody has come up with. But I don't have the time to do that. And like I said, I'm just going to throw it in Farsight's lap and be like, because it really should be. It really should be a situation where if I went over to a friend's house and he had Pinball Arcade and I said, hey, let me log in as my user, that I log in under my user, that boom, all the tables that I've purchased should pop up, and all my goals should pop up, and all my high scores should pop up. That's how it should be.
Yeah, and it should be tied to your Farsight account and not any other system. Because if you are playing cross-platform and you want to actually replicate your goals consistently across all your platforms, you should have the ability to do that with a single sign-on system. And let's face it, Farsight have this authentication system that they use to track purchases and stuff like that for Kickstarters. They have a whole lot of data going into it. They need to transfer the store-specific or the ecosystem-specific goal tracking systems away from that and plug it directly into their own ID system. Because this is not the first time it's happened. This is like one of the most common things that happens on Android as well, as far as user management goes. It's like the Achilles heel of all the data management in Farsight at the moment, and they really. Well, and again,
it makes me wonder if so you went and purchased the the latest iPhone or the latest Android phone, and you download. You obviously
do it. It doesn't work the same as Steam. Does it actually wipe your data? I don't think so, because Game Center handles all the achievements.
Okay.
And Game Center, because it's an Apple product, it knows that, oh, look, this is a new device, therefore this is let us restore your progress to it rather than let us wipe your progress and then stuff.
What about Google Play?
Google Play is providing you have a saved game, providing you've actually gone, hey, look, I'll actually make the distinction to go and make a physical backup using the in-game system. because it's not automatic. You have to actually create your local save file that you were talking about that you lost.
Yeah.
Is in a similar sort of position where you've got to actually manually back it up. It doesn't, for some reason, Farsight have opted to make it not automatic, which I've told them a number of times is a stupid move.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you've done that and you've got that backup, you can restore it to your device, and it doesn't like, I guess that's the thing. Maybe that's why they've done it. So it's a manual backup process rather than an automatic restore. But the thing is, I've got other games like Skyforce Reloaded that if you put that onto another device and you go, hey, look, this is a new install on this device. When you activate Google Play Games, it goes, oh, that's right, you've got all this status here. Let me just synchronize that over to this device for you because you have no record. So I think there's either a bug with the Steam system or a bug with how Farsight have implemented the way data gets restored in Steam.
Well, it's also one of those things where Pinball Arcade is the only one that stores the data in this user file. None of my other Steam games store there. Everything else is you click Steam and then within that folder, but not Pinball Arcade. It's in a different folder. And it's like, why? Why are you doing that? Be like everybody else, please.
That's right. Be consistent. Yeah, it is frustrating, and they need to fix it across all platforms. Probably not the consoles, because they're probably constricted about how they do it on consoles.
Yeah.
But certainly on things like iOS, Android, and Steam, they need to make some changes. Probably at Wii U as well on Android.
And then Farsight ran their monthly tournament. And now they always say that they pick the games randomly. They need to work on
nuts again.
They need to work on their randomizer.
Black Knight and going nuts again. Come on.
Well, no, but it's not even just that. It was Black Knight and Black Knight 2000. Thanks. Yeah. And then going nuts, and then we had mouth not functioning. How's that for a game? No, then we also had Safecracker. Right, Safecracker, which is a terrible game to have a timed tournament with.
Well, yeah, because it's
already timed.
So so you only have 10 minutes to compete on this game. How? Oh, technically, if you're playing standard mode, you probably could play for 10 minutes if you're really good. But it's tough to actually keep a ball live for 10 minutes on that game.
Well, and then once you have it getting live for that amount of time, though, it's how many people are really able to just at will make themselves get up to the vault and then get themselves in. And I don't know.
It's hard.
It's like very difficult.
I used to play that game all the time when it was in the arcade, and it's a tough game in the arcade, and they really have replicated that in Pinball Arcade. I have a really tough time getting into the vault. Like I always get kicked out, or I get dogged, or I get zapped, or like the freaking teller gives me a letter bomb and a money bomb, and I go, screw you. Yeah, I sort of love-hate that game. I saw someone on the subject of Safecracker, someone in, I think it was Android forum, has got 1,000 tokens now. And what happens when you get 1,000? Though? Oh, yeah, they are. They're missing the silver. They actually worked out that there isn't actually a set configuration of tokens in the virtual token tube. It is purely a random number generator that triggers for every time you play a game. So you have just as much chance of getting a silver token on your first game than you do on your 150,000th game, which is pretty terrible, as it's a wizard goal. Like, that's a stupid wizard goal. I
seriously wonder, has anybody completed it?
Yeah, some people have. They've got the full set.
So do they have the full set? And did they get anything special for completing it?
No. They didn't get anything special.
Because initially, Farsight said that they were going to give something special if you actually managed to get all the tokens. So that's why I was very, very curious to know if that was going to happen or not.
You get the goal. But that's it. That's another one that you would never want to do again if you had to restore your game progress.
Right?
That's a terrible one.
Oh my God, you just kill yourself. So yeah, that was. I don't know. When I heard the tables listed for tournament this time around, I was just like, nope, and nope, 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 because I'm not even going to think about torturing myself with going nuts any way, shape, or form. And Black Knight, until they fix it, I will not play it. So
this is a really good tournament for me to test out the manual downgrading process that we were talking about a couple of episodes back. So what I've done is I basically plunged the ball and let it go down the hole, like on all tables. According to, I think it was Gazania, the only requirement was to start one game in the tournament, and that was enough to say, yes, you have joined the tournament by completing that game. So I could have done that and then just not posted score on any of the others. But I figure that just basically houseballing all the tables will be enough for me to downgrade it from gold to silver. All right. So I'll test the theory. I'll report back after the tournament's finished. We'll see what happens.
Look forward to seeing it. Hey, Jared, we have somebody joining us here that we have not heard from in forever. Because of our new recording time, it just plain doesn't work out for him. But he's been eager to get on. He has things he wants to talk about. Yes, everybody, it's Pinball Wiz 45B.
Hey, guys.
Hey, howdy. How's it going?
It's going all right. It's a bit of a shame that Blab went down after I went over to Replay FX. And that's sad to resort to Google Hangouts. and the... what is it? The inconvenience of the time frame. I'm usually basically between 5:30 and 6:30. So
yeah, unfortunately, Jared has such a limited window that coincides with our window that
yes, it makes it rather. Time zones are hard. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, halfway across the world. Yeah, go figure. So, you went to Replay FX. You've been dying to mention some things about it. Talk to us.
All right. The facility was twice as large as last year. There were areas specifically for the Pinball tournament, which was 200, 300 machines, and one designated arcade area. Yes.
That's
there was a whole stage, and there was a crowd gathered around it for like 10 pinball machines, but still.
Wow.
Quite a large gathering. And there's another area for all the for all the arcade games, the console area, and the different vendors and guys that came over to visit, including Farsight. So well, let's see. Some of my highlights. Let's start with the machines that I sucked on, because, well, just quite a few of them based on the blog post I've written. Bride of Pinball 1.0 does not play like a pinball arcade. It is hard.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's terribly hard. That ramp is a killer.
That being left ramp all day, it just didn't quite cut it for me. I didn't even get a chance for multi-ball. That, and it was somehow pitched like every other Papa game out there.
Super steep, yeah.
Yes.
And the thing is that game really does need to be set at a regular pitch, like the factory pitch, because that ramp is so steep, and the flippers.
All the early season 1 tables, I feel like they should have a go at it again. Because it's just not the same.
No. They absolutely do need to have a go at them again. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah,
I got killed by Twilight Zone again.
That's how it should be.
It was over at Farsight's booth, and there were a few problems. Like there were lower left flippers kind of a bit wonky, didn't rest all the way down. So it's
interesting because I've mentioned this, that I do think that Farsight did a fairly good job at Twilight Zone in that it taught me the ramp combos. I can hit them fairly consistently. I remember when Sean had done his Lost in the Zone about Twilight Zone and was like, "Oh, you'll never be able to do that in real life." And I'm like, "No, actually, I do it pretty consistently." Hitting the piano is a little bit tricky for me.
Yeah, the piano was tricky.
I think the power is much easier on TPA than in real life.
Oh, it is.
No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
And I do think that the power ball plays a lot differently in real life than it actually does.
Absolutely. So fast in real life.
Yeah.
Compared to TPA, which is basically, I can't really pick the difference. There's no physical difference except for the color. Like it's, you need to get that ball back into the gumball machine at your earliest convenience.
Right. As opposed to what you do in TPA where you're like, quit yelling at me. I'm going to play with this ball for a while.
Yeah, totally. It just looks, in TPA, it actually looks and feels bigger for some reason as well. It looks just strange.
Well, I think that has to do with how, because there's sometimes the silver ball, like on Victory, it looks incredibly small.
Yes.
And it has to do with the background of what you're playing with and what the edges of the pinball are, and they're blending in. And with the ceramic ball, it's just this white ball, and so it looks gigantic.
Yeah, there's no definition.
Tapered edges. Yeah, it's not just fading into the playfield at all.
Yeah,
that's right.
Phantom of the Opera and Indy 500. Those two tables, when I played them, they were fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, just compared to Pinball Arcade.
Yeah, Indy 500 is pretty fast game, but I think it's slightly slower in TPA.
Yes.
Certainly the loop shot to the turbo is pretty achievable, whereas if you try and do it on Indy 500, it's like, whoa, and it's down the flippers.
You need to be really accurate on that.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 and, let's see, High Speed, I did well at last year. This year, I kind of sucked at them.
Oh. Why do you think that was?
Well, I'm not really sure. I guess the fact that I haven't played them for 1 year.
Well, that'll do it, yeah.
That will do it, yeah.
And plus, I don't really have access to many machines around where I live, so...
Right.
Some machines I did fairly decent on. Demolition Man, I got to like first or close to second multi-ball, but the first multi-ball I usually got a super jackpot out of. And it was on a different machine as well.
Okay.
So World Cup 94, I got the multi-ball and got a few jackpots off of them.
You know what annoys me about World Cup? When you're playing tournament with somebody else, they can steal your ball.
Exactly.
So I had this happened the last time I was in tournament a month and a half ago, I guess, and I had 2 balls locked. I just needed the third ball, and then I drained. And
someone got it.
And then
one of the 3 players after me wound up getting multi-ball, and bam! Now you're back to no balls locked, and it's like, ah!
You can switch that off, though, if you want, in the settings.
High Speed 2. I played video mode twice in one game. I think it was one from video mode. I got close to Redline Mania. And it's
not easy, though, eh?
Yeah, it's not
on the real pinball.
At least what I played was somewhat forgiving.
Oh, okay. Because it's normally, the ones that I've played everywhere, they've always been right drain monsters. And certainly the left drain's a killer as well. But the right drain, it seems to be really, really risky when it comes back down off the supercharger.
Yeah.
You've got to have your wits about you and get ready to nudge it like a boss. Otherwise, it's going down.
Good luck on that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's funny because, we're comparing what it's like to play a real table versus playing it in TPA, and our experience is always, we can just go for much, much longer on TPA than we've ever achieved on a real table. But what's weird is when you watch somebody abuse a real table like it is Pinball Arcade, and I've seen it was the same player too, guys, and he's he's top 100 ranked in the world.
Keith Outwood?
No, he's not in our league. It's Johnny Modica. And he abused an Indiana Jones to the point that he wizarded it.
Wow.
Eternal
That's pretty
Life.
good.
And and I think that was only on Ball 2.
Oh, jeez.
And then I watched him do it on Game of Thrones. Where it was just like, are you kidding? And now he was one dragon shy of completing the table, basically. But it was like when you watch somebody playing for 20 minutes on one ball.
Exactly.
It's like, wow. Okay, I've got a bit of catching up to do.
I mean, talk about just a motivation drain. I mean,
yeah. And then you get on the table, plunge a ball, you get a housey, and you go, oh, great, thanks.
yeah. Hooray, I lasted 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Enjoy the table for the next half an hour.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be over here at the bar.
Hey, did they have any of the new machines there?
Yes.
Because I'm happen to be staring at one right now on the web that's coming from Jersey Jack. But tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was August when I went, obviously, or late July. So
right.
I saw The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And Wizard of Oz, which I didn't get to play. I saw Ghostbusters Pro. I got to play that one. It was hard, but I almost completed the set of missions on the ramp.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Very good. It's one I haven't really played yet.
Yeah, the flipper gap. You won't really believe it.
Yeah, it's like an old EM, basically, is it?
It's like the one from Creature, I believe.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I also saw Game of Thrones. I played Star Trek Pro.
Okay.
That was one of my highlights. It was at one of the tournament banks for Pinburg. I managed to get a high score on that, 85 million.
Good one. That's pretty good on that game. That's a tough score, that one.
Let's see. America's Most Haunted. I got 54 million on that one.
That's pretty good as well. That's a pretty low score as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good for me, considering I've never played it before. It's still fairly new to basically most pinball players. So
yeah, because of its availability, there's not many people actually have it on location. So unless you know someone, you can't really play it.
Right. And let's see. I think that was it.
What do you guys think of inflated scores? Like
I
when
don't
I played.
like them.
Well, here's the thing. When I played Wizard of Oz, I hated the score.
Like
because
the
little scores.
Well, because it's such a low scoring table. You know, it scores in the 50s and hundreds. It doesn't score in the thousands and 10,000s.
It's like EM scoring on modern game.
I can see what you're getting at, but just add 10, or just multiply by 10 if you really want to get that feel.
And what's interesting, though, is that I feel the same way about something like Theater of Magic, where I'm like, oh my god, the scores are stupid.
Yeah.
They're so ridiculous high. And you can do the same thing, though, where you're like, well, just subtract to 0. Move a decimal point. But why is it that there's a psychological thing where there is a sweet spot where you feel like
you earned it?
Yeah, where you brag, where all of a sudden if you do brag, oh yeah, I earned 25 million, people go, oh, that's really, that's nice, and you feel like 25 million was good, but on Wizard of Oz that just would have been 25,000.
Yeah.
For the same amount of gameplay, for the same amount of modes that you went through, but the Wizard of Oz doesn't feel at all satisfactory at that.
No.
So it's a weird brain thing. That
I guess it's the point that it's Jersey Jack for one. They can. And two, it's Keith Johnson designed the game. He's the one that also did Simpsons Pinball Party and Lord of the Rings.
Well, but I'm not specifically saying. I'm not saying that it's.
There's just so much.
I'm using that as an example because there are some tables that score exceedingly low. There are other tables that score just bonkersly high, and I'm kind of one of those that I fall more into. Well, it's the System 11 scoring for me. I like the sweet spot those were.
I was going to say System 11.
Where a replay was 7 million.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
it's a really nice balance with System 11. Like you go, yeah, like if you get say 10 million on Diner or something like that, you go, wow, that was an awesome game, and you actually you feel like you've earned that score.
But when you plunge a ball and you get 500,000, you gotta go, what? What's that?
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
So like I said, Jersey Jack, they just announced this past week, Dialed In, which is their collaboration with Pat Lawler. And two things strike me right off the bat. One, oh my God, it's not a licensed table.
No, it's not.
It's so shocking to me. It's, I mean, it's almost like with Whoa Nelly, where you're like, wow, it's not an unlicensed. Interesting. The second thing that strikes me is when looking at the photo of it, and maybe I'm just not in the Lawler in what he did for Stern while he worked for there. But I mean, apart from the mid flipper, it doesn't have a typical Lawler layout to me. And I don't know if and I mainly say that because it looks like it's got its orbits, it's got the
upper left, upper right, I mean.
But it's not, there's no bumpers, bumper heaven, which to me is kind of a mainstay of Lawler. No more like bumpers near the middle of the field as opposed to at the very top.
It's different. I think that's a good thing.
And it is a good thing. I'll be very curious to see how it plays. If I ever get my hands on it. But the weird thing is it's got a cell phone on the table.
It's got a cell phone on it. It's got Bluetooth connectivity, so you can connect your phone up to it. It's even got a webcam on it, so there's some integration with your phone.
Like during one of the frenzy modes, it takes pictures of you as each switch was being hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now? Why is it Bluetooth? What's it doing with the Bluetooth?
Now, if you can connect your phone with the game, if you enter into one of the game's multi-ball modes, you can use your phone to connect with the flippers.
Oh, that's weird.
Use your phone to connect with the flippers. So you basically
to somewhat like Pinball Arcade, but
so it makes it like a controller. So your phone turns into a controller.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's
sort of like Demolition Man.
With the triggers. Yeah.
Yes.
That's going to be really hard to tilt, though, when you're using your phone.
it is optional, though.
Yeah, it's very optional. Like being completely disconnected from a physical pinball machine. That's a very interesting concept.
This also doesn't look to be a wide body. It looks like it's a standard size. Which, again, breaking the trend of what Jersey Jack's been doing. So I'm glad that they're venturing out on that, especially after I read an article that was once again claiming that Stern is 99.9% of all pinball right now and is a monopoly. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, Jersey Jack, and they mentioned Jersey Jack, but like what they said in 6 years they have 3 tables. They go, we're releasing 3 tables a year. So our output is obviously much, much higher. And then they gave a brief mention to Highway, which I should also point out. They just released a video of the Alien table. And the sound package on it is ridiculous.
Yeah, you love it?
It's amazing. I mean, as much as I love the Zen one...
Sound package,
it's just as good, if not better.
Wow.
It's got really, really good sound going on. The only thing, with all the sound clips they played, I didn't hear Ripley, and I don't believe they have her.
Oh, licensing problems.
Yeah. Well, probably. I don't know if it's licensing. It's more like, getting a hold of Sigourney and having her sign off on it.
Yeah, true.
Something noticed on the Alien pinball machine, the giant alien head, it can grab the ball that magnetized.
Yes.
And drop it down. Something that ties in with Jurassic Park.
It's a pretty... Right, No, it's a pretty cool toy there. They did do exactly what Zen did with the pop bumpers being eggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such an obvious thing. Yeah, it does make sense. I don't know what they have a Queen's chamber where it's an alien queen in a chamber that spins around. I don't know what the deal is, particularly with that.
Sort of like Theater of Magic.
It's a bit like
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I mean, let's see.
I think it is a bit of a playfield toy. That's all.
It's probably just a playfield toy. I'm not quite sure what it does.
And it looks like it has ramps that go into the back of the machine, hidden, and then pops back out, kind of like what Party Zone. But
yeah,
I'm not 100% on that. It just kind of
Black Rose as well does a good job at that. Yeah.
So it's good. It's good that new pinball is dropping rapidly.
There's something new coming up from what is it? Spooky as well, but that's not Domino's, because that's like a bespoke game made on behalf. They're contracting that out for Domino's.
And Domino's
that's right.
Really been known.
That's right. But this is a different one that they're thinking of announcing at the next show they're going to go to, or announcing the name of it, and then if you're already on the Spooky mailing list, you'll get more information about it, apparently. So, yeah.
And then last thing to mention on new info that's dropping with Pinball, and that is with Pinball Arcade. Well, I shouldn't say Pinball Arcade. Stern Pinball Arcade. They've announced the next tables that are going to be dropping with that. One of them is Whoa Nelly, which I was kind of disappointed. I'd rather it be the Pabst. I wanted to be the Pabst Blue Ribbon table.
I don't know. I think Whoa Nelly's going to be great.
Well, I mean, they're exactly the same playfield and everything, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't. For some reason, I really liked the look of the playfield that they did for Pabst, especially since it's also done. Well, it's done by the artwork that's done or Dirty Donnie, who did Metallica. Yeah. So I'm good. Sorry, I like that better than the double entendreville that is Whoa Nelly.
That's pinball. That is totally pinball. It's what it's all about. Double entendres.
And then help me out here. Mustang. What's the second table? Was it
Mustang?
Mustang.
Oh, Mustang's the next one. Okay. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I've been on the Stern Pinball Arcade website, and it looks like they updated a video for it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. So they've already got vision of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
They have, let's see, Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Mustang, Harley Davidson, Last Action Hero, Starship Troopers, High Roller Casino, AC/DC, and Star Trek.
Oh, okay. So they've added quite a few.
Yeah, they have. Yep. Okay. So they're obviously backporting all the ones that they got from TPA using the new CAD assets that they have access to over to the new platform. That'll be good, because that will eventually trickle back through into Pinball Arcade as well. So
yeah,
of course, it'll be
it's really nice though if they could finally start promoting this game, because it's so interesting. I don't hear anything about the Stern Pinball app on the VR, and you think about it, so few people have it, and I don't know if a lot of that has to do too with maybe they had big plans with that Samsung phone that's blowing everybody's head off.
Well, the next thing, potentially, like maybe the Oculus VR might have been a good fit for that. I mean, it works perfectly fine with the Galaxy S7, which is the phone that you can use in the Oculus VR platform at the moment. But
that's the one that they just pulled.
No, they pulled the Note. You can still buy the Galaxy S7. That's fine. That's not blowing up. It's just the Note. Yeah. They've got dodgy components in the battery that just die.
Yeah.
But it's but meanwhile, because they haven't been able to mention anything other than we think it'll come out in the fall, which at this point we're assuming right before December 21st.
You would think that it would totally be Christmas, right? Like, it makes sense.
You would hope, but it's like, come on, guys, we're dying for some. We want to get hyped for something, and we're not getting hyped for Bone Busters. We haven't heard. We haven't heard. Even in beta form, we haven't heard anything about the new Doctor Who, which I think they're now calling Masters of Time. Is that correct?
That's right. So. Yeah.
they gave a little teaser bit, and it was like, oh, come, don't show me more. But no, you're not showing me anymore. It's like, give us something, please.
I've actually got a feeling that we won't be seeing 2 tables this month.
I'm suspecting not now either.
Yeah, which is a shame.
What it might be saved for, they always at around Christmas time have an issue with everybody going on vacation.
Yeah.
So this might be one of those things where it's like, you know what, we've got this, it's mostly done, why don't we go ahead and we'll tinker on it up until that point, and then that'll be our cushion. We won't be into crunch time at Christmas.
Well, yeah. That's presuming they actually give it adequate beta testing time before Christmas, so the fixes can be rolled in.
Especially considering head-to-head still does not seem to be ready for prime time.
Nope.
And until they get that going, that soccer table ain't happening. So...
Not sitting there in the studio, not doing anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's really going to be interesting. That one, oh, look, I hope they got it cheap. They should have to buy it expensively because I'm going, geez, we need this game to put into production. We have to buy it at whatever cost. Surely it wouldn't be that expensive, though. Like, it's an Elven G. I don't think they go for that much money.
But here's my thing. Hey, if you can't do that soccer game, there's always World Cup
there's
soccer.
Another one. There's another one you can do.
Let's get that one in. Come on. Season of sports.
Hey, FIFA. Do you reckon you could make it licensing easy on that one and just get it in? Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, I think we've successfully managed to knock off another podcast. We're going to go let Jared do a whole bunch of household chores.
Yes, I've got to go and clean all the bathrooms and also fix up a whole lot of edging in the garden today. So,
yeah, I'm going to enjoy my. I had all this last week off of work, which was really wonderful. So now I'm going to go back to the kids show for the next 4 weeks. So I'm going to watch the new Ghostbusters tonight, see if that's any good.
Oh, cool.
Which here's a side note. So I heard that it was excellent 3D.
Oh, okay.
It was doing all sorts of dimensional poking out, deep focus in. That was one of the better 3D movies to go see in the theater. I didn't get a chance to go see it that way. So I was looking forward to it coming out on video. I have a video store near me that carries 3D Blu-rays. So it was like, cool. Boom, sweet, we'll have this. Well, wonderful Sony decided that, hey, you know where we'll package the 3D? We'll package it with the 4K disc.
Oh.
So it's 4K packaging, and then it also has, the Blu-ray 3D version of the disc. Unfortunately, the video store that I go to that's carrying all these, they don't buy the 4K packaging. So I'm not able to watch it in 3D. So now I'm like, okay, I need to watch it to see if it's even worthy of my purchasing, which I highly doubt it will be. I'm not looking, not that optimistic about it, but
I'm just waiting to find one second hand and then get it. Like, get one second hand, and that way it'll save you money.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's brand new disc, so it'll be a while for second hand. And the problem with the 3D discs is they don't tend to go cheaper. They tend to go up in price. If you don't buy that first week and get them on sale. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've got on the plate here. Hey, I'll enjoy those debates on Wednesday. Whee! And
well, there's more.
We have one more hate-filled session coming up, Jared. Wherein
you mean the whole world does, because everyone's seeing a mouth breather's talking about rubbish.
The mouth breather is talking about rubbish, and well, you know what? I'm not going to go into political talk because I still want to retain some of our listeners. So hey, why don't you check us out on our website at BlahCadePinball.com, and you can download any of our shows there. You can also hit us up on Twitter. I am at Shut Your Traps. He is at Jared Morgs. Pinball Wiz, what's yours?
At Pinball Wiz 45B.
There you go. You can hit him up too. Or you can, of course, hit up the site's main thread, which is at BlahCade. Beyond that, go buy a T-shirt. You can find all that information in the show notes. Why don't you go on to Loot Crate? You can find that in the show notes too.
support the show, or you could just send a PayPal.me payment to BlahCade, and whatever you think is right for the show, just to give it. And that may, I think they have a limit of $1 per transaction, but see what you think.
Oh, all right, good times. Hey, folks, that's it for this session. We will talk to you all again next week in the BlahCade.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Take care.